Shwmai, croeso, helo and welcome back to the Bluebirds Nest, Neath yr Adair Gleision, which I'm delighted to let you know is now sponsored by Dragon Bet, one of Wales' newest betting companies, and having spoken to the directors at the company, it's exciting times for the JD Cymru Leagues in particular. For those of you following along across Wales' Premier Division, they're delighted to be launching soon real access for supporters to get a better opportunity when it comes to the betting market in the JD Cymru Leagues. Obviously, as a club, we just like to say, please gamble away, please bet responsibly. So, episode 2, as you can see on screen, delighted to welcome the skipper, Captain Marvel himself, Dylan Rees, to the episode. Dylan, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, no problem.
So, couple of questions for you, and then we're going to go through the quick fire like we did on episode 1. So firstly, I'm going to go back many, many years to where it all began, I suppose, and ask you about your journey. Quite an exciting CV you've got, I suppose, of the various clubs. So take us back to the start. Where did it all begin for you?
All began in Tenby. You know, I grew up in Tenby, born and bred, so I joined Tenby Football Club when I was about 6 or 7, probably. And, you know, played my football there, training once or twice a week and then playing with school and whatnot. Progressed really quickly. I had a really good cohort of friends growing up, like football-wise, and obviously they're good mates as well. But yeah, we had a good squad going. So we'd go away together and play teams, and we'd be the driving force growing up. We've beaten teams like 20-0, and a lot of the boys that I play with have gone on and played like at a good level. So yeah, I played at Tenby till I was about 10 or 11. Then I went up to Cardiff Development Centre, where it was like the start phase of my football career really. Dave Ryson, who I think's at Carmarthen now, he was my main coach there at the time. And he developed me really well. Obviously, I then graduated the development centre. I went into the academy, and that was obviously really good experience. But it was tough coming from Tenby because obviously we were travelling back and forth 3-4 times a week from Tenby. So big shout out to mum and dad for that one. But no, yeah, they stuck at it. They helped me to get to where I am today. So I obviously graduated the academy then at 16. I moved away up to Cardiff into Diggs in Fairwater, where I started my scholarship. And yeah, that was a great 2 years. Really tough 2 years, living on my own, and you know, having to find my way to training, for example. Started to take on some bills of my own. You know, at 16, it's quite difficult. So I suppose I had to find my feet fairly quickly. But no, I wouldn't change it for the world. You know, it's definitely character building. That's something that Cardiff definitely gave me. And then, yeah, I had a nasty injury at start of my second year scholar. I hit my knee. I did my LCL ligament on my left knee. So I was out for the first, I'd say, 4 or 5 months of my second year scholarship. So then I'm starting to think about university, because I was always thinking, you know, if I didn't become a footballer, I was always going to be a PE teacher. So I started to think about university then. But lo and behold, I came back flying, ended up getting a professional contract early, and then had a great 2 years at Cardiff in the professional development phase, if you call it that, or the under 23s or 21s. I had 5 or 6 managers during that time though, so it was really difficult. So you'd impress one, or you wouldn't impress one, and then he'd be out the door, and then you'd press another one, and he'd be out the door. So it was a very tough period at Cardiff for me personally. It was lots of transition going on, obviously with the new owners and the transitions that were happening in the club. And then I ended up getting released in when was it? January 2017. Just Neil Warnock came in. Wasn't part of the first team plans. Fair enough. My contract was running out. I was one of 3 at the time, and then the end of the season, I think 14 or 15 of my teammates left as well. So there was a big clear out of what was there, and it was like a new start. But credit to the boys that were younger than me, because they've come through and they've broke through, which is fantastic. You know, unfortunately it wasn't myself, but I'm really happy with what I'm doing now. And like, I still stay in contact with the boys that have made it. People like Mark Harris, I spoke to the other day, and he donated a shirt for a local charity. that I'm auctioning off later this month. So we're all still in good contact, and we all speak to each other now and again. But yeah, I left Cardiff, came home, signed for Haverfordwest for about 7 games, I think. Wolvesy helped me to go up there, and then I had a random call to go to Sweden. Some agent rang me and said, "Do you want to go and play in Sweden? I've done all the legwork." I was like, "Go on then." I said I didn't have anything else on. It was towards the end of the season in Haverfordwest. Yeah, as you do.
Yeah.
So I think I spoke to him on the Monday, and I was in Stockholm on the Wednesday.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a mad few days. But yeah, it was a great standard out there. It was just so cold. I think I was in the middle of Sweden, Karlstad, beautiful little city, and I made some great friends out there. I think a few are coming to the wedding next year, my wedding next year. So that'll be great to see them again, because obviously I haven't seen them since.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a great time out in Sweden. Learned a lot, character building again. I was out there for about 2 months, I think. Came back, and that's when I joined Cardiff Met then in university, and obviously had a great time there.
Yeah.
4 years in the end it was. Some great experiences with my teammates, and obviously as a student, playing for Wales, playing in Europe, playing the top 6, playing in finals, winning cups. So it was all a fantastic experience, and I've made, like you said, I've made friends for life there for sure. Got some really good connections up there. So yeah, finished at Cardiff Met then, and then signed for Haverfordwest. It's my local club. I was born in Haverfordwest. I'm only from Tenby, so I've just bought in the area. So it was a no-brainer for me to come back, and yeah, here we are.
Fantastic. You mentioned Dave Racing early on there, Dylan. It's surprising the impact he's had. I know Dave well from West Wales footballing circles.
Yeah.
Coached me many years ago. It's surprising the impact him and a lot of the other coaches, Bernie Lewis and others, and often you hear of players our age, I suppose, or certainly between the early 20s, early 30s sort of generation who've been impacted by people like that, and it's great to see their development opportunities at a young age coming through. So big shout out to Dave and the rest of those guys.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Cardiff Met. You did have a very successful period with them, scoring in Europe, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Who was that against? Remind us.
Progress Snyder on the team were. They were from Luxembourg. So we had the away leg first, so we had to go out to Luxembourg. Differdange, I think we played in the end, but it was a beautiful place, really hot. We lost 1-0 away. We just parked the bus, and they scored late on, I think. And then we had to come out all guns blazing then in the home tie at Leckwith. Lammy scored really early on, and we thought, oh, Jesus, here we go.
Yeah.
And then I ended up scoring. I can't remember what minute it was. I scored a penalty. It was 2-0, so we were going through. And then they nicked an away goal then. But the season after, the away goals got scrapped, didn't they? So that would have been gutting. So we would have gone to extra time and penalties if that was the case. So bit unfortunate, but yeah, we won in Europe, I guess. Unlucky not to go through. I think Progress won another game, and then they played Rangers at Ibrox, Stephen Gerrard's Rangers. So could you imagine a bunch of us if we had to, if we happened to win another game after beating them?
Yeah.
Imagine the storylines of students playing against Stephen Gerrard. That would have been amazing.
And that seems to be the case a lot with the European games at the moment with Wales. They're doing really well, and it's last-minute equalisers or last-minute winners for the opposition. It's almost so near yet so far. But I'm sure, one season things are going to go well for a number of teams. I think standards are improving. I'm sure you've seen that over the last few years as well.
Yeah,
but
sure.
You also mentioned your international appearance then. So Wales C selection. What was that experience like?
I was actually called up late. I wasn't in the initial squad. I think Kai Edwards pulled out, and then I had a late call up to go up to. I think we stayed in Salford. We stayed in Salford up there. Got the call from Jonah and said, "Come on up. We want you to join the squad." So I drove up with Elliot and Adam Roscrow in the car. And then stayed there for a couple of days, training down at, I think it was Bury, but it was Man City's old training ground or something like that. Then we trained at Airbus, and I ended up training well. I had a few a few bits of interest from the Football League at the time. So I was ending my Cardiff Met journey. I was going to try and step back into professional football if I could. So Jonah said, "Oh, we're gonna start you," and I ended up playing the full game. Played pretty well. We drew 2-2, and yeah, it was a great experience. You know, it's an honour to represent your country. And yeah, it was just a fantastic experience all around. We had a good like mix of youth and experience in the team. We have people like Venners were like leading the line, and then younger people like myself. Who else was in there? Like Callum Roberts was in there. Yeah, it was just a great mix. You know, Alex Ramsey was in goal as well. So it was really great to just have a good mix. And there's no cliques in the side at that time. If there was, I don't think there is anyway. But there was no cliques. Everyone got along with each other. It was just a great experience all around. And then I got called up again the following season, and then COVID hit. I obviously which put that to a halt, and then I missed out on the most recent one then.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You go weeks and weeks throughout the season kicking lumps out of each other, and then you know it's potentially a tricky task for Jonah and the management staff there to bring that sort of cohesive unit together in such a short space of time. Obviously, this year they were really successful. I must say, when they were up at Carnarvon, I think 4-0 beating the league, which had Football League. So again, it's really highlighting that the league has come on leaps and bounds, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Aspirations to have another crack potentially this season?
Yeah, if selected, for sure. It'd be great for us as a club. I know Forsey went up there and he was he put his name in a good light. The people that I spoke to said he was great. So yeah, if selected, honestly, it's an honour. I wouldn't turn it down. But like I said, anyone that gets in that squad should be fully deserving of it. So if my performances say yes, then yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Well, obviously, you've highlighted your academic background. Certainly one of the cleverest in the squad, I will say. You're on your UEFA licensing pathways.
Yeah.
You know, I think I'm right in saying you've already got your B license.
Yeah, did my B.
Studied Cardiff Met, secondary school PE teacher in West Wales, in Pembrokeshire.
Yeah.
So I would say, are you enjoying your summer holidays? Flip-flopped up on North Beach in Tenby, but I know you've been busy supporting local youngsters with their own football in development.
Yeah, so myself and Daniel Evans, the under-19s head coach, we're best of friends, and we wanted to set up like a soccer school. So we went to Tenby, and Angie Nichols, who had run it for years, we approached her and said, "Oh, could me and Dan take it on?" And she was happy with it. Went to the committee at Tenby and said, can me and Dan take it on? And then we agreed that. And yeah, we started back in April, and we set up a soccer school during the summer holidays for children aged 6 to 12 to come along and have a day of football. Improve their skills, character building, like I mentioned before. And it's just an all-round fun day, really, trying for them to learn and play and socialise, but through football. And it's been fantastic. We've had some great numbers. And yeah, you can follow us on Facebook if you like. We've got a soccer school page, Tenby Soccer School, on Facebook. But yeah, it's been great. We've had such a good turnout recently. And obviously myself and Dan are young. We haven't got kids yet, so we've got the time on our hands. And it's great to give back to Tenby, because myself and Dan both went to Tenby Soccer Schools when Angie was coaching it as a kid. So we thought it was only right to keep Tenby in the loop and give back to the club as best we can. Yeah. So anything that we can do, and we give large donations back to the club every time to keep that grassroots football going, because I wouldn't be where I am today without Tenby. So we thought it was right to obviously keep them in the loop and keep supporting local grassroots football.
Brilliant. Yeah, and obviously, as you can see, for those of you watching the Vodcast, you can see on screen here the QR code and the link directly to the Tenby Soccer Camp's Facebook page. It's like you mentioned, they're giving back to Tenby. It's great to see them. I think they're back on the journey up towards the Pembrokeshire top divisions as well. It's great to see that they've come back from a turbulent few years. Excellent. Thank you for all of that. It's really great to, as outlined in this project with the Bluebirds Nest, to learn more about the players, the staff, etc. So thank you again for your openness and honesty there.
No
Quick
problem.
3 questions now then. So we're going to get to know you as a person perhaps a bit more, but also some of the teammates. I got a couple of questions about some of your teammates.
Okay.
Kicking off, favourite TV programme?
I watched Stranger Things recently. I'm enjoying that.
Okay. Favourite film?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Nice, good choice. Favourite band?
Stereophonics.
Nice. Favourite drink? I split this one with Rob last time. Alcoholic drink and soft drink.
Alcoholic.
Too many to choose from.
I'm gonna go Peroni.
Yeah.
And non-alcoholic espresso. I love a coffee.
Okay. Your bucket list. What's next on your bucket list that you want to tick off?
Well, I'm getting married next September, so that was definitely one. And I want to go back to Dubai.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Is that the honeymoon destination?
Potentially. I don't know yet.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird for sure.
Like an early night, do?
Oh yeah. I'm in bed. I'm in bed at 9 o'clock if I'm not playing football.
Oh, nice. Until you have kids.
Yeah.
You could have answered this already. Favorite holiday destination?
Yeah, Dubai for sure. Yeah, it's amazing, and I got family there too, so that helps.
Okay. What other sports do you enjoy playing, watching, etc.?
I love playing golf badly at the minute, but I do like playing golf. It is good fun. I like watching rugby as well. I do like watching rugby too.
Okay. I could probably guess your favourite one year, but favourite and least favourite school subjects when you were in school?
Favourite PE by far, obviously. Least favourite chemistry. I struggled with chemistry. I couldn't get to grips with that.
Yeah, okay, now then, dead or alive, if you could pick anybody across time, who would you sit down and have a one-to-one meal with?
Ooh, my Uncle Neil. I never met him, but definitely, my Uncle Neil for sure.
Nice touch, nice. Nicknames? Any current or previous nicknames you willing to share?
I was called Dill Pot at Cardiff Met. God knows why. I think it was like an ex-player or something. I got called Dill Pot. But no, yeah, Dill. That's pretty much it, I think. There might be some behind my back that I don't know about, but no, yeah, I don't know of any others.
Okay. Frustrations. I mean, what winds you up? Pet hates.
Contradictions. I just if someone says something, then yeah, and they go back on it, it does wind me up a bit sometimes.
Fair enough. Now then, on to the football ones now then. Way back when, your first football kit, and can you remember the name on the back of the shirt?
Yeah, I had the Man United. It was white with like a thin red pinstripe through it, and I had skulls on the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The greatest ever player to play football?
Messi, without a doubt. Yeah, Messi, without a doubt. Yeah.
Your own pre-match rituals? Are you superstitious at all?
I always eat 3 hours before a game. Like I won't have a big meal any closer than 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I always put one side on first, if that makes sense. So I'll put my shin pad, tape, sock and boot on one side first, and I'll do it same the other side then. But I couldn't do like shin pad, sock, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's surprising how many people are the same as that, I think. And of your fellow squad mates, who's the best trainer in the group?
Ooh, other than myself, I think Rees has impressed me. I played with him before, but he's always on it. He's like a flea running and bouncing around the place. Rees has been really good since joining.
Yeah.
Yori Humphreys is a good trainer too. There's quite a few of us, I think. Yeah. The training's been really great of recent. So yeah, I think there's quite a few because you could be in contention there.
Yeah. I've had a good couple of conversations with Yori recently, and he seems to fancy himself as the fastest centre half in the club.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I thought you
over 5K for sure, but not in football terms. No way.
I think one day there's a centre half race. Okay, now I believe you're in charge of the fines, or certainly on the committee this year. So, and I know you've put a couple of quid in yourself. A little birdie told me, but who, by the end of the season, who's going to be the person who's paid up the most, do you think?
Oh, Henry, without a doubt.
Right.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think he's been late twice already, so we'll have to nip that in the bud.
Cool. Right.
He works hard though, fair play to him. He said he can't leave work early enough, so we'll have to have a little discussion about
that. Brilliant. Obviously, experienced Welsh League campaigner across the divisions. Your favourite ground, not including obviously the Oggy Bridge Meadow?
Ooh, I like playing at Newtown. I always like playing away there. Had some good battles over the years, but the ball moves nicely on it, and yeah, I do like playing at Newtown. Where else? Barry as well. I think Barry's got a good setup there. I do like playing away at Barry as well. That's good battles there too.
It's a challenge. It's interesting. That's 2 on the bounce. Newtown, Latham Park have picked up now. Rob said the same thing for travel reasons almost, because it's an away day, but it's doable up and back in the day from West. So
yeah,
they're top of the league at the moment. Newtown's ground. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously been at the club now just over 12 months. What's your favourite moment since being at the club?
Ooh, our comeback away at Airbus early on last year was a great one. We had a couple of good home victories against Newtown and Flint when they were flying. Just a couple of really good victories that we've had. Boys have dug in and showed character, and that you need those, I think, like early on in a new team, because then you can use that as reference for when things maybe you'll go 1-0 down in a game and you can think, no, we've done it before. So yeah, I think moments like that are definitely my favourite, because it shows the character that we have in the squad.
Yeah, definitely. I fondly remember the Abus one in particular, because it was a tricky spell at that point, wasn't it? And obviously it was a Welsh Cup game. They were top of Cymru North, high scoring, high flying. And we were quite depleted, if I remember. There was quite a number of youth team boys involved that day. The guard went off after about 10 or 15 minutes, backs against the walls. And like you say, that the word character that came out strongly from me last year, certainly with the squad. Yeah. Great. Final question on this now then. So a dream team we're looking at now. 5 players from your time at the club. Right. It doesn't have to be the best 5 players. It can be for any reason. But who would you put in your dream team of Haverfordwest players? And Rob last week went for a goalie straight away. You're welcome not to have a goalie. You can play rush goalies if you like.
Right. I think we'll play rush. And we'll go... do I include myself?
Entirely up to you. It's your dream team.
Right, yeah, I'll include myself then. Me. I'll go Jamie Veal. I'll go Forsey. I'll go Sheps and Jordan, I think. Myself, Feely, Ben, Jordan, Sheppy.
Any reasons you're picking those?
They can play football and I'll defend.
Yeah, you're playing a 1-4 formation there.
Something like that, yeah.
Excellent. Good stuff. Thanks, Dale. Now then, on to the particular segment that Dragon Bet are really keen to support us with here on the Bluebirds Nest. It's where we do the predictions. Now, obviously, as a player or staff member at the club, Welsh FAW rules state that you obviously can't do your own predictions on the games for obvious reasons. So when a player or a staff member are going to be on the podcast, we've opened it up for the club membership scheme, those that have signed up, and delighted to announce D. Lutus is our first prediction guest this week. He's gone for Abus to lose 2-0 to Aberystwyth on Friday night in the first game coming up this week. Connors Key to take the 3 points away to Cardiff Met 2-1. TNS 3-0 away at Newtown. Flint to win 2-1 at Pontypridd. Bala 3-1 at Penabont. And for Haverfordwest to take the 3 points at home to Carnarvon 3-1. I bet you're dying to give your own verdict on those days, but I can't ask you, for like I said, for obvious reasons. You can see on screen, Rob and I have also added our scores to our predictions from last week. Look forward to checking in next week to see who's going to be finishing top of the league so far. Finally then, from myself, this season on a personal level, what are you hoping to get out of the season coming?
Well, just play as many games as I can, keep my performances as high as I can, and yeah, just try and help the team to get as high up the table as we can. I think we've got real ambitions as a squad this year that we spoke about. So yeah, just trying to achieve them and hit them one by one, and as a collective, just try and go for it. Yeah, try and achieve them. But yeah, for me personally, I just think play as many games as I can, as well as I can, and see where it takes us.
Brilliant. Really appreciate you coming on, giving up your time in your summer holidays. Carnarvon is our first fixture of the league season, and it's a 2:30 kickoff this weekend at the Oggy Bridge Meadow. Look forward to seeing everybody down at the ground for what hopefully is a really successful season at the Bridge Meadow. Dylan, thank you again, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers. No worries.